Hey guys, EagleX from ATX EagleX Gaming here today, and I have a deck profile or compilation video from my last Monday night Webcam Locals tournament. For anyone who doesn't know, I run Webcam Locals every Monday night, and this was our first tournament where 2.0 was legal. We allowed everyone to use proxies, so if you were missing cards and have them in time from pre-release yet, no worries, everyone was able to play with the cards they needed for their decks. And just to highlight the event as a whole, we had 30 players bringing decks for this event, and this is often a pretty competitive environment and circuit for my webcam locals, as everyone really wants to go for that top pricing. But before we get started with the deck list, if you guys haven't already, I'd appreciate if you can like, comment, and subscribe. Seeing support for these types of videos, let me know I'm going in the right direction for this type of content. Additionally, if you guys have never done much, or seen these deck profiles before, Eggman Events, Hayden, he does a great job at helping archive all these events, not only for my webcam locals, but all the premier events too. So if you're trying to learn what decks are trending in your local or your upcoming regional metas, you can hop onto Eggman Events and just take a glance and see what's trending up. Anyways, all these will be on Eggman Events too, but let's go ahead and get started with Alan's first place list. Alan played Lord Nightmon X, but there's something really cool we need to emphasize and look at here. So, for anyone who doesn't know, we've had this Gobbly Labra Ignite Dober engine for a hot moment. You see a lot with Levia decks in the BT 18 or BT 17 format, because the whole Suno Gobbly Labra into Dober X engine using Protoform. Dober X becomes a one-cost Evo with Protoform. If you have Gobbly, it's a free Digivolution, and then you get a free extra draw with Sunomon, so you're going to be very consistent. This is one of the bases you'll see for Lord Nightmon. But also, we have Gatomon here. For anyone who's never read this card, it's been a moment. It's normally played in Mastamon because the Your Turn effect, when you go into an Archangel or Fallen Angel, reduced the cost by 2. So the reason I want to bring that up is because Lord Nightmon, when Digivolving, you play level 4 lower from trash without paying the cost, so that gives you a Gatomon. But why do we care about Gatomon? You care about it for the end of turn DNA effect. So now you see Shoutmon X5B is a purple red level 6 that can digivolve over a red or purple level 5 and DNA into Ragnalordmon. Now you might be asking, that doesn't really make sense, the engine feels clunky. Well, let's just put it in this perspective. If you're able to get one alliance check with Lord Nightmon from your first stack because of Lord Knight X, that means you've done 2 security damage. And when you play out this Gatomon, you can either go up into a Lady Devi for 1 and a Lady Devi X for free, or you can go into Gatomon and then use Protoform, go into Lady Devi for a free Digivolution because you have the Protoform reduction and the Gatomon reduction at the same time. Then it gives you a way to go into Shoutmon X5B, and then you can really pop off. Ignitemon was also used to help with the memory thresholds of playing Digimon all turns, so your opponent's turn, your turn, you play out Digimon, gain a memory. Similar, not that Dober, but this Dober ESS and this elaborate ESS as well. So just some things to keep in mind. Lord Knight has lots of memory extension. But congrats to Alan for getting first place with this really unique brew for Lord Knight. DNAing to Ragnar Lordmon, Trash Nose. Oh, as I was saying, you got your 2 checks from the 1 Alliance, and then you would get the last 3 burns with the Ragnar DNA effects. Second place, we had Spartan playing Magnamon DNA. You guys might see a lot of these rookies thinking, oh, it's going to be an Imperial deck. But the top end is focusing on Magnamon. For anyone who doesn't know, return to the Progenitor, we can actually use this to digivolve into Magnamon X Antibody, and because we're emphasizing all these armors like the Togomogumon and the Lydramon, we'll actually have Magna X's effect live because we have Armor Form in its traits to get the 3k, the restand, and the immunity to everything. So just one thing keep in mind, you have the aggression route with the Pyildras, you can use Progenitor to go into Magnamon X, and then you can also just use Progenitor to evo up into your normal Imperial line. You got your Daikins. We all know this is a strong card. And then you have ways to close out in the form of Paladin Ace and Blitz Omni, just kind of depending on your scenario there. But congrats to Spartan for topping with this deck. And our third place deck was Red Hybrid. Now, we know Magnamon didn't really use any new cards, but we got one card that is super worthwhile talking about in this deck, and it kind of changes like the skew for how you want to play it. So first, we have to pay attention to Ancient Greymon. Its deletion effect plays a level 4 or lower red Digimon with hybrid form in its traits from your hand for free. And the reason this matters, if we do the whole warp combo with a Goonie, we know we're doing 2 checks. And if we have an analog to reach the memory back to our turn, we can play out Gigasmon. Gigasmon on play or when digivolving is a hybrid that gains Rush, or can give Rush to a Digimon. So you're able to have like a Blitz Omni without needing a Blitz Omni. And this is one of the new cards we saw in BT 2.0 or BT 18 technically. But just a really cool new thing you can put in your red hybrid decks. So congrats to our 3rd place finisher there. Moving on, this was Marshmallow Ruffian. If you guys haven't subscribed to him, I'll put his link in the description of this video. He's a content creator as well, but he has lots of really cool brews he brings to my webcam locals. This is his purple hybrid build, using the Lugomon engine to cheat out your AGs or your code crackers for a free fix or a free tamer. And the whole idea is you go to your purple hybrids, you unmind link them at the end of turn, so you always have your tamers in play. But he emphasizes a really cool control top-end in the form of Venusmon to shut off when digivolving and when attacking effects, Sendril to control the board with token spam and DP drain, and then, of course, Shadow Serafi Ace, a really strong way to respond to aces on the board, because when you have aces, you de-digivolve them, you get the overflow memory, so really you're building up your stack for purple hybrid pretty efficiently. You're controlling the board and you're very memory efficient with your stacks. But this is one really cool take on purple hybrid. In 5th place, we have another Lord Knight build. This is emphasizing a lot more of the Dark Knightmon package, and because we had proxies, a lot more people were actually able to try out some of these expensive promos like the Skull Knight here. But this is just another Lord Knight variant where we emphasize all the actual Knightmon line that came with the deck, along with some of the older cards. It uses the new Nene Tamer, and then you can also use the delay option here, which basically puts a little bit more pressure on your stacks, because you're kind of playing a slow grind game. You're trying to control boards back and forth, giving collision to everything with the Lord Knight Ace from the All Turns effect, and this includes your opponent's Digimon. All Digimon with as much or less DP gain collision, which means you'll have a very sticky board. You'll always be able to block. You'll always be able to respawn. Because not too many decks can spam out the response to Lord Knight as fast as Lord Knight can build up. But congrats to our placer there. Now in 6th place, we had a Lucamon deck. So if you guys are interested in Lucamon, here's a really cool way to take an approach. Having Koopymons to go with your Ukomons and your Lucy engine, you can just choose not to hatch. And that's one thing I want to emphasize. You don't have to hatch if you don't want to use that egg, but you do have some utility with your options, and you have a Levia side package. Levia is just such a strong card in this format, especially when Lord Knight plays out bodies. They get their on-play trigger first, and then you get to respond Binding Crush and chomp away their board. Maybe there's an ace there where you can get some overflow memory back, and Revive from Darkness is kind of like a budget version of Dead or Alive. It costs 4, and the whole idea is you get to play out your Lucamons. You don't get on-plays, but you do get them on board. But congrats to our player who played that. And also, just real quick, if you guys don't know, Mastamon's a really strong card in this deck. It gives you a way to kind of loop your Lucamons, because you'll be on Chaos mode, go into Mass Day, and you'll burn security, and be able to play out your Lucy. When you play out your Lucy, you'll either get a Recover, or you'll get, I believe this one's a Search. Yeah, this one's a Search. And your turn, you can place a level 6 top stack and digivolve into a Chaos mode. So you basically play out the rookie, go into another Chaos mode, and you just kind of keep looping these back and forth. Go to our 7th place list now. And we got our good old Takamizu here. Nothing really new from this set. This deck's just a lot better, because if Purple Hybrid's being played a lot, we're going to see a lot of milling done to our opponent, and Luga loves having stuff in their trash so they can DNA in Takamizu, because their Kazuchis and their Takes get milled a lot more frequently. And then last but not least, in 8th place, Testro did pilot Composite Millenniumon. So if you guys want to try out the new Composite deck, here's a really cool build I would suggest y'all look at. It does utilize a little bit of the promo deltas, but it doesn't really seem like it's a key card, as it's only a 2 of in this build. And you just emphasize your Millenniumons with your, basically your just new common through rare core for the deck. One promo you run as a 2 of. And then you have your one of Secret Zeed. Deck, it's just really focused on like controlling the board, having ways to spam out bodies, and then the Wicked God Descendants just gives a way to keep playing out your Wicked God traits from trash anytime your Millie gets answered and removed. With that being said, if you guys enjoy this content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Take a look at Eggman Events too if you guys want to look at these deck profiles in an easier copy-paste format. With that being said, take care, y'all. Have a nice one.